as old as time itself, perhaps. It's a story about two star-crossed lovers who discover their love in the vacuum of space. Our story takes place in the distant future, over 100 years from now, on a very futuristic space vessel in outer space. There are two people aboard this ship. A space captain, a man, and his space cadet, a woman. They're drifting through space on a very important space mission when all of a sudden, alert, the ship proclaims, and the captain, not flicking and switching, tries to recover the ship, but it's no use, and the space cadet wakes from her slumber and runs to the captain and asks, "What's wrong?" But before he can even respond, she feels the heat on her lower back. And as the flames of the ship erupt, so does the flames in their hearts. This is space love. They make their way for the space evacuation exit and float along the milkiest way. They look back and all they could see is a mere speck of space memory where the ship once was. A pebble of debris millions of miles away. And they float and float, because that's like the only way you move in space. And then he's looking around and he gazes at her for just a moment. Just a slight little corner of the eye kind of glance. But he gets locked in, gets sucked into her two beautiful, deep black holes of eyes, and says, "Baby, I want to marry you right now." And off in the distance, she sees a glimmer, a moon. And she says, "Baby, you see that moon over there? That moon? Over there? Right over there. You see it? That's our honeymoon." They perform a dazzling 69 over to the nearby moon and lay on the moon dust as they watch sea beams glisten in the dark over Tannhauser Gate. And they laid there like that all night, because in space it's always nighttime. And she pulls him in like a tractor beam and says, "Baby, you really take my breath away." And he says, "Baby, it's probably because you're like losing oxygen at an alarming rate." and it's like very dangerous to even be talking. In fact, you should save your words, for we probably only have moments to live. And she says, baby, if we only have moments to live, then we only have moments to love. He looks away into the void and says, in space, no one can hear you love. And she says, baby, you give me butterflies in my tummy. And he goes, I think those aren't butterflies. I think you might hit, well, he goes, you ever see the movie Alien? and she's like, no, I don't think so. And he's like, okay, well, so maybe you saw like the movie Prometheus. And she's like, yeah, I saw that. And he's like, alright, because it's like, you know, it's like basically the same thing. And she's like, okay, so like, why are you talking about like Prometheus right now? And he's like, well, those butterflies in your stomach, I think they might actually be like little baby aliens trying to burst out of you. Which would probably actually explain the lack of oxygen. And also probably why our ship exploded from that alien attack. And she says, yeah, that would explain it. But she says, you know what, baby? And he says, what is it, baby? And she says, baby, as much as these aliens want to burst outside of me, I want to burst inside of you. That was Space Love. Thank you.